Today I would like to go over an example of display logic, and the reason that we use display logic is to create a survey that's customized depending on the respondent. It's when we want to basically hide a question or show a question, or several, to a specific type of sub-participant. And you can choose to conditionally display both not only questions but answer choices, allowing you to create a survey that it dynamically adapts to your respondents' answers. And so for an example of this logic, I would like to consider the question, please specify your current phase of the immigration process. And what I would like to do is to only have this question display if they did not answer born in the US. So i.e., if they are an immigrant, they will see this question. And so what I want to do is to click on the question that I want to show or hide. In this case, I would like to show it. And pardon me, it's actually down here. Question behavior. It's the logic of the question, display logic, skip logic, carry forward statements, carry forward labels, statement randomization, default choices, and much more granular JavaScript. And we're going to select display logic. And it will be based on a question, and it's going to be based on this first question. Please specify your current phase of the immigration process. If not applicable, born in US is, we can choose is selected, or we could choose is not selected. And we can also obviously choose is displayed or not displayed. But we're going to start simple and just say they did not select this. What that means is they selected one of the other options, which would indicate that they're of immigrant status. Click Save. And so now we can see the logic here. Display this question only if not applicable, born in the US is not selected. And then we can very easily test this out. I'm going to do a preview. Okay. Please specify your current phase of the immigration process. And I'm going to test it both ways. I'm going to first select not applicable, born in the US. And it takes us to the end. It doesn't show. And so that's correct. And click on Restart Survey. And so now I'm going to choose something other than that. And these all pertain to immigrant status. So I'm going to say green card holder. And then we see this, so we know our logic is working. Okay, wanted to go over a bit about the related topic of skip logic. It's very similar to display logic. It's kind of depending on the context, sometimes it's much more efficient to, instead of, like we were doing, display this question only if they did not answer born in the US, therefore an immigrant, to assign that logic to all these questions that are just for immigrants takes a lot more work than just skipping all these if they are a US citizen. And so that would be a good, if there are several questions for people who are only immigrants, and only people of immigrant status should see these questions, instead of putting the display this question logic for every single one of these, all we have to do is to take into consideration that they answered non-applicable, born in U.S., and skip over the immigrant-based questions to the question that everybody can see, or everybody should be able to see. And so to do that, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the question itself. And again, under question behavior, I'm going to select one of the logics, and this time we're selecting skip logic. And so I'm going to say skip from this question to the end of the block if not applicable, born in US is selected, because that means the whole slew of multiple immigrant questions should not be seen. Go ahead and click confirm. And so very efficiently now, if they answer not applicable, born in the US, they won't see however many immigrant questions you want in this block. It will just skip to the next block, and the next block everybody should be able to see it. So let's go ahead and test that out, test our logic. I'm going to do a preview up here. That's a global preview. Okay, so please specify your current phase of the immigration process. So if I select not applicable, born in the US, this should just skip now all the way through the immigrant questions in the block, all the way to the end, or to the next block where there's a question that's for both immigrants and citizens born in the US. Okay, good. So this test passed. How do you feel about the current U.S. administration, regardless of whether you are a U.S. citizen or an immigrant? I just put that in there so it makes it very explicit that this is for both subsets of participants. And so I'm going to do the inverse test and answer as if I'm an immigrant. Please specify your current phase of the immigration process. I'm going to say asylum granted. And now I'm getting all three questions that are for the immigrant participants. And so this logic is working the way we intended.